I have your attention, please? Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call to order this meeting Wednesday, July 23rd, 2014. It's approximately 6:03 p.m. The invocation will be by Kevin Chambliss and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, the Police Explorers, and Councilman John Burgess. Could you all please stand?
Greetings, everyone. If you would, bow your head. Dear Lord, we thank you. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this great city known as Homestead. Lord God, we thank you for our great diversity. We thank you for the common peace among neighbors that exists here. Lord God, we ask you to help us to be productive. Lord God, we ask that you help us to continue that friendly nature that we have, that you have given us. Lord God, we pray for our leadership, our mayor and council. Give them the wisdom and the strength to lead this community into the future. We know that you will be with them, and we thank you for that. We thank you for every citizen that is here, and even the citizens that are not here. Lord, thank you for your many blessings. Amen.
Amen. Everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you, Kevin, for the invocation, and Mr. Burgess for the pledge. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Fairclough.
Here.
Councilwoman Woolman. Here. Councilman Burgess.
Here.
Councilman Maldonado.
Here.
Vice Mayor Shelley.
Here.
Mayor Porter.
Here. Item 3 on the agenda tonight.
Mr. Mayor, if I could interrupt. I know that there's a lot of people here tonight on the bowling alley item. We have had a request from the proposer to defer this item this evening, and I wonder if the council might want to consider, in courtesy of the people that have come out tonight, to make a decision on the deferral first, and then if the matter is deferred, that would be the end of it for this evening, and if it's not deferred, then to hear it this evening as out of order, so that the people that are here can participate and are not delayed by the rest of our business.
That sounds fair. Any comments from council? Any concerns? Okay, I have a conflict, so at this particular point in time, I'll hand over the gavel to Vice Mayor and Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
So we have a motion to defer the item.
Vice Mayor, before you do that, I could probably alleviate a lot of the problems, if I may, for 1 second. My name is Steve Shiver on behalf of Elite Real Estate Investment, who was a successful bidder, the only bidder for the bowling alley parcel after 7 months of waiting, after giving the city council in their direction what you actually asked for. And unfortunately, my client has just informed me that we're going to go with another site that's in Florida City, and we respectfully withdraw and wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry to everybody that came out tonight as well, but there's just too much circus surrounding this property. So best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shiver. Moving on to, we'll see if the mayor wants to come back in. Moving on to public comments. Yeah, well, hold on one second. We're going to see if the mayor wants to come back in real quick and participate in this before we go forward.
Wow.
Coming in.
He's coming in now. Also give a chance for people to clear the room. And just for clarification, the item that was just discussed for the deferral was withdrawn by the applicant. So the discussion item, which would have been tab 18, is no longer on the agenda for consideration. So just for clarification, to make sure everybody's aware of that. I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor.
Okay, so tab 18's been removed. We're back in public comments. Is that correct? Thank you, Vice Mayor. At this particular point in time, anyone would like to speak in public comments, please step to the microphone and name and address for the record, please.
My name is Paula Carter. I reside at 10331 Southwest 102nd Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33176. Is there anything else? Okay. We started this whole thing about the bowling center. We built it in 1991. It was successful to our wildest dreams for three times. It did about 3 times what we suspected it would do. We were open 11 months, and then Hurricane Andrew trashed it. Alex Muxo was the one that encouraged us to rebuild. We rebuilt it. One of our partners, Herbie Yamamura, wanted to buy us out. We allowed him to buy us out, and it proceeded to go downhill. I just want everybody to know, because I'm so tired of our name being trashed and pulled through the mud and everything else. We had nothing to do with anything that happened from the mid-90s on. And I just want everybody to know that. We ended up paying a bad loan, $500,000 in cash plus attorney fees for a bad loan. So I wish Steve the best of luck, and whatever happens, good luck, Homestead. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin?
Greetings, my name is Kevin Chambliss. I live at 980 Constitution Drive, apartment K, Homestead, Florida, 33034.
Good evening, my name is Dalis Travieso. I live at 27855 Southwest 202 Avenue, Homestead, Florida, 33031.
Mayor and Council and distinguished guests, today I come before you to talk about a new charity venture that I have begun to participate in. You might have heard of it. It is called Hope for Life. And life is spelled L-Y-F-E, and it means live your future every day. This charity is a breast cancer awareness charity, and it raises money for breast cancer services, not necessarily at the national level, but it actually raises money for those services here locally. Okay? Over 500 mammograms per year since its start have been given, free mammograms have been given to low-income women here in the South Dade community. And we actually have an event coming up towards this charity on August 5th, which is a Saturday at 8 a.m. at the Palace on the corner of Campbell Drive and Chrome, kind of, sort of. We will be having a breast cancer awareness breakfast where we will have our keynote speaker as U.S. Congressman Joe Garcia, and the Palace is actually sponsoring this breakfast for us to raise money towards this cause. Now, the cause also includes a gala later on in the fall, as well as an actual yearly walk that takes place at our reserve base. And for the information on that, I will come back at a later time before the community. Another addition to this particular charity and cause is a local spokeswoman. This local dollars raised here locally, spent here locally, and we now have a local spokeswoman who has joined this great cause. She's right from here in Homestead. You guys know her, and I always have a hard time saying her name. Dalhis Travieso, our own Miss Homestead USA, here is joining us as our spokeswoman. I'll let her have a couple of words.
I'm very excited to represent our city, and I'm also very excited to be part of such a great cause benefiting the women in our community.
Let's give her a round of applause. And again, that breakfast is August 5th at the Palace here in Homestead. The tickets are $50 each, and if you want any more information, you can contact me at kevinchambliss@gmail.com. You can see me after or during tonight's meeting, or you can contact her host, Miss Bunny, and she will let you know how you can get a hold of the tickets. Thank you.
Mayor?
Ms. Waldman, go ahead.
Yes, Kevin, I'd like to ask a question.
Yes.
As a breast cancer survivor, you know, this is the first I've heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
And have you brought other breast cancer survivor, I'm assuming you have breast cancer, I'm assuming that as a spokeswoman, there's probably breast cancer in your family, but I know lots of women who need to be informed about what's going on.
So you know, I knew I was going to get this because I'm a guy, right?
Pardon me?
No. The young lady.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I was saying I knew that I was going to get what you said, you know, because as a guy, obviously, I am not myself a breast cancer survivor, but I'm speaking on behalf of the young lady who started it, Miss Angela Roberts, owner of Chicks and Wings Restaurant. And this is about his 4th or 5th year in existence.
Okay.
Again, over at the Air Reserve Base, has, you know, but it's always been a walk. The breakfast and the gala are an additional portion of the venture as it grows into the community. And at the breakfast, you will hear from several different survivors, different stories. You'll hear from Ms. Roberts about how breast cancer has hit her family. But at the same time, because this is a young charity, Ms. Waldman, we are more than willing and would love nothing more than for others, specifically you, because I was going to call you, to join us in this effort.
I didn't say that because of me. I said that because there are many breast cancer warriors, I'm just going to say that,
Yes.
that are right here in our city limits of Homestead. So if this is a Homestead charity,
Yes.
you know, I would like to share with you some names, but first I need to make sure that they are willing to have their names shared, as many of the women that I'm working with now are going through treatment, and they're very, you know, they're very conscious of their hair, they're very conscious of their skin. You know, as you know, with chemotherapy, I have a friend who's lost almost all of her teeth now 11 years later because of the chemo after effects. So there's a lot of stuff here. So if you're gonna say that Homestead's doing this breast cancer awareness or whatever you're going to call it, make sure that, you know, you include breast cancer women in Homestead, and I'll be happy to share those names with you.
Absolutely, we love, because based on the women we already have as survivors, we love nothing more to get that word out better, which is one of the reasons why we're here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
One last thing, I want to congratulate Vice Mayor Shelley for the birth of his son.
He's blushing. You should see him blush. Thank you.
Lisa Bradshaw, 1435 Southwest 80th Street, Miami, Florida, 33183. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Lisa Bradshaw, and I'm the latest of Miami-Dade County Public School principals that was newly appointed for the re-envisioning of Campbell Drive Middle School. That will be the Center for International Education at Cambridge Associate School. We will have about 650 students. from 9th through 12. It's an international curriculum. We are in the process of recruiting. We will be recruiting up until August 18th. And I really want to thank all of the Homestead community for welcoming me into your neighborhood. It's been a wonderful experience, and I certainly hope many of you take the opportunity to spread the word. And like I said, we're recruiting incoming ninth graders, and we are hosting an evening event tomorrow night at 6:30 at the school, and also Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So please do take the opportunity to come by, introduce yourselves, and certainly to bring on some ninth graders. We look forward to a great opening of school, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Mayor,
Thank you. Ms. Patricia?
if I may.
Sure.
Ms. Bradshaw, thank you for bringing your passion and your energy to the city of Homestead. I know a lot of our residents who attended Camel Drive Middle School were a little disheartened that they say the school is closing, although it is not closing. There's just a different vision. It's
That's
being
right.
repurposed. And I like the direction we're going with that school, because if I feel that something's not working, then you need to kind of tweak it a bit. And that's what we're doing, tweaking it here. But Lisa comes with a track record. She doesn't just come with energy and passion. She has a track record, and she has experience with Cambridge, the Cambridge program. So can you just share with us a little bit about your experience with this program at
Sure.
W.R. Thomas?
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to. I'm a 30-year veteran in Miami-Dade County Public Schools. I started the Cambridge Magnet program at my former site, which was W.R. Thomas Middle School, where I was the principal for 7 years. What that program did for that school, well, look at the data. It speaks for itself. That program is probably the top 3 middle schools in the entire county, with a great track record and wonderful students. It doubled the enrollment, and I come with a wealth of experience, and I plan to do the same thing here at Homestead and retain all these great students that are in Homestead, keep them here. That's my job. That's what I envision this school to be. It's going to be stellar, state-of-the-art, and I was asked to take on this opportunity, and I willingly did it. I don't reside in the community, but my husband does work in the Homestead Air Reserve Base. He's the deputy fire chief, so I'm very familiar with the Homestead community at that level. He's also a reservist for about 27 years with the Air Force. So I'm very familiar with the Homestead community on that level, and I certainly am very, very blessed and fortunate to partake in this wonderful opportunity as I approach the end of my long career. So I look forward to this great challenge, and so far so good. We're off to a great start, and I certainly welcome all of you to come by and introduce yourselves and come to one of our recruitment events, and you'll hear more about the Cambridge program. I could elaborate, but I know we have limited time tonight. But I really thank all of you for this wonderful opportunity and the very warm welcome. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Nanny?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Sandra Nanny, 4 South Chrome, Homestead, 33030. I'm here tonight representing SOS, and as many of you may know, SOS supports families that are exposed to violence, such as domestic violence, child abuse, child neglect, sexual assault. And I'm here tonight to announce our third annual fundraiser. We have one every fall, and this year it is going to be Champions of SOS. It's going to be a masquerade ball with a Phantom of the Opera twist. It's going to be on September 27th at the Marriott in Kendall from 7 to midnight. We are going to have a silent raffle, cocktails, dinner, dancing, and a performance by the Florida Grand Opera. So we invite everybody to please come out, support us, be a champion. And the tickets are $75. On September 1st, they will go up to $100. I thank you for the opportunity that we had tonight to announce this event.
Thank you for announcing it, letting us know. Mr. Tebow?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is William Tebow. I live at 2835 Fairways Drive. I was going to talk about the bowling alley, but I also wanted to talk about other cities, other venues, and things that I researched for 5 to 95. 5 years old to 95. If entertainment is not just for 15 to 25-year-olds, it's for all of us. And an example of that, in Knoxville, Tennessee, when I take my granddaughter, 10 years old, to Jump Jam, I can take her to Planet Air Sports here in Kendall, or Sky Zone in just a little bit further north. There's a lot of venues out there that are entertainment. I was a bowler for about 10 years when I was in the Coast Guard, and I enjoyed bowling. But I think that your restrictive thinking limits you to not thinking about all of the age groups that need entertainment. I hope the council will put out an RFP, an open RFP for the bowling alley property so that we can get the best use out of that property. I'm a commercial broker, and I looked at the tax rolls, and I looked at the price that the county assesses that property. I think an RFP, open RFP, will get us, the community, the kind of money that we should get for that property, and that you would be proud of whatever transpires there. I would also enjoy inviting you to This Is for the Kids, the Rib Fest, which happens in October. It's our fundraiser. We provide charity funds to a number of different organizations, and hopefully you'll turn out for our event.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I see no more public comments, so we'll close the portion of the meeting on public comments, and we'll move to tab 1, which is a presentation by WeCare. Sir?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I'm here tonight to present the check to a fine local charity, I guess is what you'd like, is how this would be presented tonight, because it goes, but they're a nonprofit that do great things here in the city of Homestead and help out our citizens around here. And tonight we're here with the Lend a Hand program. And what the Lend a Hand program does is it helps people with their utility bill one time. They're allowed a one time to come in and ask for assistance. And since its inception in February of 2005, this program has handed out $160,000 to needy citizens in the city of Homestead who have had trouble with their utility bill for one reason or another. So this is a great program that we're going on here tonight. The families are capped at $200 for their assistance, so it's not like somebody can come in and have an enormous bill and expect us to take care of it for us. There are some criteria that must be met. WeCare has to maintain the record so that there's full disclosure on what's being paid to who and how much. So there's no hidden agendas here or chances for things to go astray. So we are here tonight to present another check to them to help the citizens of Homestead for the amount of $20,000. And this will be used, like I said, for people that come to the utility department who are in need of keeping their electric on for one reason or another. So, Kamitra, thank you for all that you and WeCare do for our citizens. Thank you for administering this program to our citizens and those that need it. And if you want to give a few words.
Thank you so much. It was, I guess, maybe 8 years now when we came to the city of Homestead and mentioned that we were getting a lot of individuals that were in crisis situations and were facing disconnection of their utility services. And we asked if the city could do anything to help out. And just like being the supporter that you are today, the champion that you guys are of those that are less fortunate in our communities, the council voted to begin providing funds for that purpose. We don't get one penny, WeCare doesn't get one penny of this fund, of the funds. All of it goes directly to individuals that are facing a crisis. So we are excited to be a part of this again another year. We have very strict guidelines because we want to make sure that we are honoring the city's commitment and the city's instructions as to whom they would like to see this program to assist. So it's not just for someone that has been having challenges on an ongoing basis. It's more for individuals that are facing an immediate crisis, an unforeseen incident that has happened in their life, and because of it, they're unable to take care of their bill. So we are very delighted to be a part of this program again, and you can always contact us or refer clients to us that you know of that may be able to take advantage of this program. I'll be more than happy to share my card and information after the council meeting if you like. But again, Mayor, Council, thank you so much for your continued support.
Mayor, Kamitra, John Burgess, if I just may say something. Kamitra, I don't think you get enough credit for the value that you bring to this community. And you have been a part of this for many years. And I thank you for being a good steward for this program and being a great public servant. It's people like you that breathes life into communities like this and poses a breath of fresh air. So I thank you for all that you do for the city of Homestead. It has not gone unnoticed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess. Thank you, Mr. Ivor. Tab 2 is Miami-Dade County Projects Update. Commissioner Bell, welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much, Mayor Porter. It's good to see you, Vice Mayor Shelley, the rest of the council. Thank you so much for having me here this evening. Congratulations, Vice Mayor, on your son. That's very exciting. And Mayor Porter, congratulations on your in-laws' anniversary. That's just a wonderful accomplishment. I know you must be so proud of them. I'm really happy to be here tonight. It's always good to be home. And as many of you know, I just live a couple blocks away. I could have just walked here or roller skated here. Roller skating would have been pretty, though. So I'm glad to be here today. I wanted to give you an update on some of the things that have been happening in not just District 8, but in the city of Homestead. And when you see those, I'm sure many of you see those A-frame signs, and you see projects, and you see sponsored by the commission, and then the very bottom in the small little letters it says Commissioner Linda Bell. Well, those are projects that we sponsor at Miami-Dade County on behalf of the city of Homestead, and not just the city of Homestead, but the surrounding areas surrounding the city of Homestead, to enhance the quality of life of not just South Dade, but specifically the city as well. So I wanted to just share with you some of those projects, because I talk to different people in Homestead all the time, and they're like, what about this project? I'm like, no, we funded this and we've handled that. And so people don't know. So it's really good to come and be able to give an update. Hi, everybody over there. It's good to see many of you again. Welcome back, Major Kennedy. Welcome back. You missed us that much, huh? Welcome back. I would like to share with you, one of the projects was the 4-lane. We widened to 4-lane, Southwest 328th Street from US 1 to Southwest 162nd Avenue at a cost of $13.1 million. We did Southwest 328th Street from Southwest 162nd Avenue to Southwest 152nd Avenue at $6.2 million, and 328 from 187th to US 1 at $6.1 million. Also, we did the widening of Southwest 312th Street from 187th to 177th Avenue. That was $5.6 million. Installed traffic signals at Southwest 152nd Avenue and Southwest 328th Street and Southwest 137th Avenue to the tune of $200,000 each one. We did intersection improvements at Southwest 137th Avenue, which is surrounding the area, not specifically in here. Resurfacing, we've done a lot of road resurfacing projects in all over South Dade community, but specifically here, Southwest 187th Avenue from 288th Street to 299th Street, Southwest 157th Avenue from 296th Street, which is Avocado, to 208th. And we also upgraded, it's called the Sonovich Bridge Improvements, but what it is we upgraded the 296th bridge, which goes over the C-111 canal. The C-103 canal. That was $140,000. And some of the surrounding community, they're not as fortunate to be in a city like we are in Homestead. So in the Leisure Lakes area, which a lot of people in impacts, we did restoration to Leisure Lakes Park, the playground, ball field renovations. We did a fitness zone for the kids, ball field irrigation, parking expansion and lighting. And we've done a total in District 8 of $7.4 million in park improvements, $11.5 million in PTP, which is People's Transportation Fund, spanning over 84 projects alone in District 8. And the 311 Service Center has serviced over 900 calls specifically from Homestead in the 12 months alone. And under the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act era, the Miami-Dade Transit Department has worked with the City of Homestead on the following projects. We have all these bus shelters, the $500,000 on one project and $300 another, and then $270. And these are, we assume the procurement and the installation of bus passenger shelters at the following locations within the City of Homestead: Washington Avenue and Northeast 8th Street, North Chrome Avenue and North 9th Court, Southwest 14th Avenue at Southwest 4th Street, Southwest 14th Avenue at Southwest 8th Street, Lucy Street, Southwest 14th Avenue at Southwest 4th Street, Southwest 14th Avenue at West Maury Drive, 167th Street at 344th, Northeast 15th Street at Chrome Avenue, Northeast 8th Street at Northeast 18th Avenue, North Chrome Avenue at Northeast 8th Street, West Maury Drive at Southwest 8th Avenue, and Northwest 8th Street at Northwest 4th Avenue. And Miami-Dade Transit has procured and delivered to the City of Homestead one bus and one additional bus, in addition to 12 new 60-foot diesel hybrid electric buses for the South Miami-Dade Busway Expansion Project. We know how many people take transportation from the City of Homestead, especially going from the City of Homestead to Dayland South and to Dayland North, and it's gone noticed. Also, STS ridership. In the month of May of 2014, 9,113 trips, and 8,598 in June of 2014. And there's been some rumors about raising the rates of STS. Be assured that I have committed that I will absolutely not support any raising of any fees for STS, the Metro Rail, or the Metro Bus. Absolutely not, especially not in this economy. And I just wanted to give you a couple of updates. And I know, Mayor, I know this will make Cindy very happy, and we're getting ready to do another free spay-neuter event, and stay tuned about that. But a couple weeks ago, I passed the Animal Cruelty Prevention Ordinance, which is going to change the way we do business in Miami-Dade County and how we purchase puppies. And we're going to be banning the sales of puppies from puppy mills, changing how we check them, restrict them. We're even regulating hobby breeders to limit the breeding to be one time per year. Every animal that's bred has to be chipped, including the male. That's never been done before. I believe we're the only county in the state of Florida and possibly in the United States that's ever passed such a strict ordinance. I'm very proud of that, and I'm sure Cindy will be very happy to know that. And Mayor, I just want to tell you something. It's been a pleasure working with you, and it's been a pleasure working with you from commissioner to mayor on the Metropolitan Planning Organization. And when Mayor Porter walked in for the first time, I said, nobody's allowed to introduce the mayor but me. Nobody. So I made sure that I got to introduce our mayor to the Metropolitan Planning Organization. And I have to tell you, you're a wonderful addition to the MPO, Mayor. And it's wonderful to have you there. And also, I want to let you know, many people don't realize it, but a few years back, I sponsored legislation, and the budget is online, as well as the checkbook is online. You can go to miamidade.gov, and you can click on the budget, and you can look for that. Also, the services, I return services to the South Dade Government Center, so there's now a South Dade Government Service Center there. So many of those services that you used to have to go downtown for, you can go right now to Cutler Bay, and you can get those services and get those needs met. And so, also, we now have term limits in place. I figured if it was good enough for the City of Homestead, it was good enough for Miami-Dade County. And so Chairwoman Sosa and I sponsored, thank you. The Chairwoman Sosa and I sponsored 8-year term limits, and so now we have 8-year term limits in place. And so I think that's good news for everybody, and I think 8 years is, in the City of Homestead, it's 12 years. We did try 12 years first, but the residents didn't want it, so they wanted 8 years, that's what we gave them. Good news, too, we set the millage rate less than 2 weeks ago, and we set the millage for the libraries to restore all the funding to the library, and so not one person needs to be laid off in the library. All services will remain, and we're looking at adding an additional day, that would be a Sunday, to the regional libraries. So our libraries are going to be in good shape, and I'm very happy about that as a mother and as a grandmother. By the way, my granddaughter Carissa is in the audience, so wave, Carissa. I like to bring her with me. She's getting her civics lesson right now. And she gets to come to the county commission with me too and be mini commissioner for a day. Also, for the realtors in the audience, I came up with an idea to create one website, kind of like a Google Maps for land and a Google Maps for properties. And so I partnered up with the Beacon Council and we created MiamiDadesites.com. For all you realtors in the audience, write that down, MiamiDadesites.com. We need tools in this community, especially when we're dealing with this economy, especially when we're dealing with the way business is tough. And so MiamiDadesites.com, it's a state-of-the-art website which gives small and local commercial enterprises the necessary tools that they need in order to make sound decisions about their location strategies, when they're ready to expand, relocate, or establish their operations in Miami-Dade County. And when I established MiamiDadesites.com and partnered with Beacon Council, the one thing I wanted to make sure that this was a free program. This is a free, that there's not going to be any user access fees on this one. So I'm really excited about that one. And I also wanted to mention traditions. We have established at least 4 solid traditions that we do every single year. And one of them, we just did a beautiful one last Saturday where we fed about 3,000 people with partnering with Farm Share. And we met the needs of many people in this community in South Dade. And I was really proud of that. And I'm proud to partner with Farm Share. And we also do it at Thanksgiving time, and we feed many needy families, and we supply them with not just a Thanksgiving dinner, but groceries that last about a week, including fresh produce and breads and all kinds of staples. So I'm very proud of that tradition that I started as well. Also, one of the traditions I started was the backpack giveaway. And I'm sure you're gonna like to hear that. And it's gonna be on August the 3rd. And it's gonna be at the YMCA inside behind the falls, that YMCA. This is our 4th year doing it. And we learned after being rained out in 100-degree temperature that we might want to move that indoors. So that's gonna be indoors this year. And so the tradition of the annual back to school backpack giveaway in its 4th year has been so successful. And when you've got 3 kids or 4 kids to send back to school, it takes a lot. Have any of you seen the list that they now get from schools? Patricia, I know you know this very well. And they hand these lists out that are like pages long. And so if we can help just a little bit, it might make the difference between uniforms or sneakers and backpacks. We have some families that have 4 children, and that's a lot of money. So we're really happy to do that. And also, we will be doing on August the 23rd, we will be doing another free spay and neuter event, and we're working on it. It will be on August 23rd. And if you want to check out Commissioner Linda Bell's Facebook or website, all the information will be there. And let me tell you, I'm just happy to be here tonight. I just want to wrap it up. I know you guys have a long meeting ahead of you. I thought it was even going to be longer when I walked in and saw all of the people for the bowling alley. So I just want to say thank you for having me here tonight. Well done. And just let's let you know that I'm here and I'm here to serve. Any projects that come on your radar that you need assistance with, do not hesitate to call. Thank you. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'd like to say to you and the County Commission that we appreciate the open door policy that you provide for us. Frank from the mayor's office is in the back there. He's always been a friend. Commissioner Bell's got an open door, Commissioner Moss. So we can't get anything unless we ask. So appreciate you coming down and give us an update, Commissioner. Thank you so much. Next is going to be consent agenda. Is that correct? Yep. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Move it.
Is there a second? Got that? Any final comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Attorney? Public hearings?
Yes, please be advised the following item on the agenda is quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment upon this item, please indicate the item you would like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on this item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on this item. Swearing in, all testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to either be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda packet on this item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2-591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on the following item. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications they've had concerning tab 9. Hearing none, at this time, the clerk will
Sorry,
swear.
you said tab 9?
Yes, tab
Yeah,
9.
I did have a conversation
With,
with the owner of the trading post.
thank you. At this time, the clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify on tab 9.
Would you please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name. Hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Tab 9 is the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, considering the request of Edwin M. Eby for a rezoning of an approximately 21,228 square foot parcel from the restricted retail commercial B1 zoning district to the liberal business B3 zoning district for property located at 10 South Homestead Boulevard as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date. This is second and final reading.
Staff report.
Yes, Jay Martyr, City Planner, sitting in for Joe Cordino, Development Services Director. This is an approximately 1/2 acre site that you're seeing for the third time, actually the second reading of a rezoning of property at 10 South Homestead Boulevard, also known as Homestead Trading Post. You have requested various options in the effort to provide for the requested pawn shop use, which can only be accomplished in the B3 liberal commercial zone. So the applicant has proffered a restrictive covenant that will limit the uses if you go ahead and adopt this on second reading to pawn shop only.
All right, thank you. I know we had quite a vigorous debate on this at the last council meeting. Any questions from council?
Vice Mayor.
Councilman Burgess?
Thank you, sir. I had two people reach out to me and send me letters, and I had copies made and given to everybody here on the dais, the attorney, the planner, and the manager. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention.
Does the clerk have copies of these letters? Good,
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Any comments from the public? Come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please. Up to the podium, please. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Brandy Enright, 2243 Southeast 25th Avenue, Homestead, Florida.
Is the mic?
33035. Closer. Is that better?
Yes.
Should I restate?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay,
Restate.
Brandy Enright, 2243 Southeast 25th Avenue, Homestead, Florida, 33035. And I come here before you guys as a mother and as a community member. I have some concerns for the proposal. A couple issues for you to consideration as you make your decision. I understand that this location is near several schools, at least two. I think it raises security issues, and I don't know if that is a risk that we would like to take. Also, I know that the City of Homestead is doing a lot to improve the city and make it the best city that it possibly can be. And I feel like a pawn shop, especially in that location on a main street, it really doesn't help improve the integrity of the city. And furthermore, there's already 5 pawn shops in the city of Homestead, at least 5 that I'm aware of. And I feel like, you know, we as public are being served properly with that amount. And I thank you for your time and listening.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thank you.
Any other comments? Any other public comments? Please come up to the podium.
Philip Houghton James. I reside at 1260 Northeast 41st Place in Waterstone, which is the city of Homestead. I have been in Homestead since 1978. The only objection that I have to what the former person, the person who was just up here, said is that there is actually a pawn shop that recently opened, which is much closer to the 2 schools that she's actually talking about. This potential pawn shop is actually located in an area of US 1 where it's highly traveled, it's extremely safe, and I think it's beneficial to the city of Homestead to have more people who can actually access a pawn shop in this location. So that is what I have for consideration.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other public comment? If not, I'll close the public comment. Do I have a motion from council?
I move it.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
If the motion is to approve, subject to the applicant's proffered declaration, I have some language that I'd like to read into the ordinance before you all proceed, if I could.
Yes, go ahead. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead,
Before he
Councilman
does
Rose.
that, let me ask a question to the chief. In your history or time here, chief, or if there's any records, I heard the young lady speak of safety concerns. Have we had any issues with that location that you're aware of safety or anything of that nature?
To answer your question, no, not that I know of offhand. I can research it, but not that I know. No.
Okay. Okay. But my other question is and maybe I just need to be educated a little bit more on the issue. And maybe this is for the planning department.
Yes, sir.
The difference in a trading post which is what it is now. What will be the difference in going to a pawn shop?
I'm not an expert on pawn shops, but I have worked with these, and they're highly regulated today in terms of the goods that are pawned, so to speak. And that's different than what they have now, which is basically an indoor retail type of use. So the way we've classified that in our zoning code is that you can have the retail sales and services in the restricted commercial B1 zoning up to, well, basically in the B2 also, but you don't really get to a pawn shop as a specifically identified use until you get to that B3, which is, you know, the quote liberal zone. Does that help you at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah, it's fine. I raised the issue because I guess from my understanding of the issue is that nothing really changes on the outside other than operational on the inside. That's exactly what, to my knowledge of it is.
And I think they have proffered that they're going to put in a new sign that's in compliance with the ground type signs, monument type signs that the city is now using as opposed to big pole signs.
Yeah, yeah, okay. No, I just wanted to put that on record because I know that we had these 2 letters that the councilman had raised, and so dealing with safety concerns, I wanted to check with the police department to make sure, have we had any calls or has anything been out of the norm that would occupy or anything put in jeopardy that you know of in the past of those schools? So you've answered my question. Thank you.
Go ahead, James.
Yes. Under Exhibit 9 to the car 1180 in your agenda packet, that's the proposed ordinance on second reading. If the motion is going to be to approve on second reading, I would like for you all to consider adding language under Section 2, approval of the rezoning, at the end of the paragraph where it says Exhibit A is hereby approved, and the new language that would be inserted would read, subject to the applicant's proper declaration of covenants, conditions, and restrictions provided in Exhibit B, herein incorporated and made part of this ordinance.
Okay. Thank you. And now, does that need to be incorporated into Councilman Williams' motion, or just clarify that that language is what he intended by his motion to approve?
That would be fine.
Do you need me to restate my motion then? Or just what you read will be added to what I'm...
You don't need to.
Right. We understand that you want to include that language as part of your motion.
Okay. And who was the second? Councilwoman Waldman? Okay. Any other additional comments from council?
Yes, sir, if I could.
Sir, Councilman Burgess.
Thank you. James, they proffer up several things in their application. How do we ensure that they're going to be done in a timely fashion and that they are done, other than code enforcement going out there? And we know what a long, tedious process that can be for them to follow up with. Can we put time constraints or tie something to the zoning change that these items, I believe it's their landscape and signs, must be taken care of before they can start this?
I certainly think that, they've proffered, irrespective of the proffered declaration, they need to comply with your sign code and your landscaping code, but it's a proffered covenant that will be running with the land, and I certainly think you can direct your staff that prior to issuance of a building permit or business tax receipt, a license to open the building, that those, the pawn shop, that those items need to be addressed first.
Okay. To the motion maker.
Yes.
If I could add that in, I would like to consider that, please.
It's no longer my motion anymore.
Can we do a motion to amend?
I think it should be, because this is an ordinance, I think you should vote on the ordinance and then have that as a separate direction to staff, as opposed to being part of an ordinance.
Okay.
I don't know.
Any additional comments from council?
I do have one.
Go ahead, Councilman Williams.
And maybe this is for the landowner, if this is the opportune time. Somebody here from the Homestead Trading Post. Would what you all have proffered up to the city to come in compliance with different things, how long would it take you to do that?
Roughly 2 months, subject to, getting the licensing from the city to actually pull the permit to build the sign, and then I have to have Miami-Dade come out to approve that the sign is up to wind structure. So, if everything runs smooth with that, it shouldn't be longer than 2 months, because I'm proffering the sign and to also bring the landscape up to code also. I don't know if now's the time to mention, I've contacted the city about having the gentleman who does the inspections or who does the site plans come out. I've left, I think, 4 messages for them to come out and walk the property with me so that I could have a better understanding of what we're doing and to get it done and to have it done in a timely fashion. That way, if this does pass, I can have it done almost immediately. It can start progress. Because I don't want to, when I apply for the licensing for the pawn shop, it takes roughly 90 days for the license to go through. So if I have to wait 2 months for them to do the work on the property and then have the city issue me the license, and then because I can't apply for the license without having the license from the city saying that I am a B3. That's a stipulation with the
So
state.
this will work, it will perhaps hopefully work within your timeline if it passes.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Hearing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Burgess? Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Councilwoman Warman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
No.
The motion carries.
Did you want to make a backup, subsequent motion directing staff regarding the building permit?
Yes, if I could.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilman Burgess.
Thank you, sir. If we could, I guess, make some kind of stipulation through the building permit there that their improvements and monument sign must be in place before the business license is issued. Then I'd like to make that the motion.
Is there a second to that motion? Can we clarify as far as procedurally what would and would not be possible? How does the process work? Would it be possible for what Councilman Burgess is requesting to take place, or would that flip it upside down? How does this normally work?
I think I was hearing the applicant say it's going to take him some time to, once he applies for his business tax receipt. Is that?
Well, first, let's hear how it works from staff's point of view. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know
we
he
would-
proffered it two months, but I know he mentioned something about from the time that he gets the zoning or the approval and then applying. So clarify how it would work procedurally so that we all know what restrictions we are or not going to be willing to place.
There's no big side planning that needs to take place here. The sign is a building permit, so that can be done as soon as he has, his sign designed and engineered, and it's going to replace, I assume, the existing sign. And like you said, we can come out and basically walk him through the landscape piece of it. And he can then do that once he has proper direction. And, we have a plan so we can help him put that onto the paper. So that shouldn't take long. It's really at his initiative, but we're certainly going to cooperate as soon as we can.
Okay. Councilman Burgess, any follow-up questions, or? Do we have a motion on the table by Councilman Burgess? Do we have a second?
Vice Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
If you don't mind, just in reference to what the gentleman was speaking about in the time frame and with our department, do we have an ETA, or is there somewhere a line of communication that's not being followed up with to make sure that this is happening in a timely fashion? Because I know that we're asking for a time certain. So are we participating within that time? Mr. Manager, is there something or someone we need to speak to make sure that this process happens within that time frame? If we're going to, anyone's going to agree to that motion?
You can say something.
The way your system works right now is generally before someone is able to get a business tax receipt, they have to be compliant with your code. So they're going to have to show compliance with the sign code and compliance with the landscape code prior to issuance of a business tax receipt. So
Okay.
it's going to happen before staff will issue the business tax receipt.
Okay. And I guess the question is, the motion, though, dealt with zoning, and so that's why I'm trying to get clarification before I make a second or not make a second myself or any of my colleagues, because my understanding of the motion is that he has to comply before the zoning that was granted would take effect. So is that possible? Is that how it normally works? Or what you're saying is that the business tax receipt would really self-resolve the issue, because even if the zoning is granted today, as of this meeting now, when he comes in to apply for that new business tax receipt to recognize the new use, he won't be granted that until his zoning is up to code. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right. He's
That's true.
two issues. His issue is he's applying for a license with the state. And when you apply, similar to an alcohol beverage permit with the state, or those permits require compliance with the local zoning. So he'll be able to apply for that state license because he has the correct zoning on the property under what you all just approved.
Okay. But then what Councilman Burgess is asking for would be resolved by the business tax issue.
That's the local issue
Yes.
that deals with our code and compliance with our code.
Okay. And is that what you intended, Councilman Burgess?
I'll go there. I wanted it to be taken care of before we gave them the zoning to make sure that it was taken care of. But if it's out of our hands and nobody else is going to go with that, then something. I just want to make sure that that sign that was put up years ago administratively without the proper paperwork being done is removed, and that the things that they proffer are going to be done down there.
If there is a non-lawfully existing structure, specifically sign,
Well, it was done administratively. It may be,
it was-
dependent on how it was done through a planning director who's no longer here because he didn't do his job correctly
Okay.
and did things administratively. And I just want to make sure that things are cleaned up, as we're cleaning many things up in this city. And I want to make sure that that is another thing that gets cleaned up. That's what I want.
Okay, so James, is there something that we need to do to make sure that the vice mayor's intentions are carried out here?
Council member anymore.
Council member, sorry. Council member, once a vice mayor, always a vice mayor. Council member Burgess's goal is carried out here, or is going to be taken care of just by our normal procedures?
Yeah, it'll be taken care of by the normal procedure. I mean, the zoning is the classification on the property. The restrictive covenant basically says that they're going to comply with the proper signage and landscaping. So it runs with the property. So you have it as a condition, a covenant running with the land that they have to comply with. It's made part of the ordinance, the zoning ordinance. If they don't comply with it, you have the ability to revoke the rezoning on the property. You also have the ability through the zoning process and the business tax receipt process to check it again. So before any issuance of a local business tax receipt, your staff can make sure that there's compliance with the sign code and landscaping as well.
So you think that it's covered under existing, what we have in place, and no direction for staff is necessary?
right, we're one department, so the business tax receipts are, basically right over there from where I sit, and of course, the building is right around the hall too. So we're going to let everybody know and kind of give them an awareness, a special awareness of this one, that certain things do need to be done before it can take place and be consummated.
Sounds like enough's in place as long as they.
But I do want to give them credit, because they have taken down the banners out there. So, I mean, I drove by today, and you guys have cleaned up down there, and so I do want to give you credit for that. But anyway.
Perfect. All concerns are addressed?
Well, as long as staff can assure me it's going to be done.
Okay.
I don't want to be back here in a couple of months.
Perfect. All right, then moving on.
Withdraw the motion.
Okay, moving on to legislative matters.
An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending provision of the General Employees Retirement Plan at Section 22.S-127 of the City Code, amount of retirement income, to clarify that the amount of retirement income that vested, retired, or terminated former employees are eligible to receive, providing for severability, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for retroactive effective date.
Staff report.
Vice Mayor, while reviewing the General Employees Retirement Plan, a scrivener's error was discovered regarding the language pertaining to the method used to calculate retirement income benefits. At this time, the General Employees Pension Board and the pension attorney are requesting that the language, quote, "up to covered compensation," quote, be deleted from Section 22.5-127C of the City of Homestead Code. This change will not have a financial impact to the city or the pension plan. Staff recommends the mayor and council approve the attached ordinance clarifying the amount of retirement income that retired or terminated employees are eligible to receive.
Any questions from council? Seeing no questions, open the hearing to the public. Any comments from the public? Seeing no comments from the public, I'll close the public hearing. Any final, or have a motion from the council? Moved by Councilman Walden, second by Councilman Maldonado. Any additional comments? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Williams? Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 11.
An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the firefighter retirement system in Article 5 of Chapter 22.5 Retirement Plans of the City Code by amending 22.5-252 definitions, 22.5-255 finances and fund management, establishing an operation of fund 22.5, 256, contributions, 260, vesting, 261, optional forms of retirement benefits, 269, repeal or termination of system, transfer to another state retirement system, and 274, direct rollover of plan distributions to comply with Internal Revenue Service Code and state law, providing for inclusion in the code, severability, and effective date.
Staff report.
Not much I can add to that, Vice Mayor.
Perfect. Any comments or questions from council? Hearing none, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion from council?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Do I have any additional comments? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woolman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado? Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 12, temporary police facility.
Staff report.
Vice Mayor, staff recommends the mayor and council approve the use of funding for the new police station building project to pay for the pre-purchase of items to be used now in the temporary police facility and moved to the permanent police building upon completion. These items will enhance police operations and security at the facility. The estimated cost will not exceed $550,000 of the voter-approved $18 million for the permanent police facility.
Any questions from council? Seeing none, and I'll open the public comment. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any final questions from council? I do have one quick question, and that is, so what we're doing here is we're essentially purchasing items that would be used for the permanent police facility, but we're purchasing them now because the police department needs it to be as effective as possible in their day-to-day operations, and those new purchases will then go back to the new police station once it's constructed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Excuse me?
Can I have a motion?
Oh, we didn't have a motion?
No, sir.
Moved. A second? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Woolman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 13.
Police Department build-out at Sports Complex.
Staff report.
Vice Mayor, staff recommends the mayor and council approve the award of bid number 201423 for the build-out of the City of Homestead Sports Complex to a temporary police department facility to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Lunacon Construction Group, in the amount of $2,551,314. Lunacon's initial bid was for the amount of $2,747,061. After several public meetings to value engineer the project, Lunacon's bid was reduced to $2,551,314, saving the city $195,747, as further explained in the attachments. And I would like to congratulate staff, David and Julio particularly, and Scott Bell for really working hard to try to get to what you all asked for, which was to stay on that $3 million mark. So we're so far so good. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Any questions from council? Seeing none, I'll open this to the public. Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion from council? Moved by Councilman Burgess, second by Councilman Maldonado. Any additional comments? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woolman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 14.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, establishing a proposed operating millage rate of ad valorem taxation for the fiscal year 2015.
Staff report.
Vice Mayor, it's this time, that time of year again, where we'll be discussing budget with you all. I think we're on your calendars individually sometime within the next 2 weeks. What you're doing tonight on this one is just setting the maximum rate, and then obviously we'll have discussions about your priorities. The department heads are working through their individual department needs. We'll get to each of you individually to assess if there's anything else that you feel is necessary from a policy perspective, and then we'll have several public meetings with you as well. And this is just to get us started, and you can see here from the sheet that the budget hearing dates are scheduled for Tuesday, September 9th at 5:30 p.m. and the second at September 23rd at 5:01 p.m. And this basically is to keep the real millage rate exactly the same.
Okay. Any comments from council? Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion from the council? Moved by Councilman Burgess, second by Councilman Maldonado. Any additional comments? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Maldonado? Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 15.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, establishing a proposed millage rate for debt service on the general obligation bonds, Series 2014 for fiscal year 2015.
Staff report.
On May 13th, 2014, the city's voter-approved bond referenda, the city voters approved the referendum for the issuance of $26 million in general obligation bonds. The GO bonds were approved to be issued in amounts not to exceed $21 million for a new police building and related improvements to a temporary facility, and not to exceed $5 million for renovations to the Seminole Theater to provide a cultural arts center renovations for the city. 30-year GO bond are expected to be issued in August of 2014, with debt service due in January and July 2015. In order to generate the tax revenues needed to pay the anticipated annual debt service on the bonds, the proposed debt millage rate must be set at 101 per $1,000 of assessed property value, 0.82 for the police project, and 0.19 for the Seminole Theater. And staff recommends Mayor and Council adopt the attached resolution, providing a proposed voted debt millage rate of 1.0100 per $1,000 of assessed value of ad valorem taxation for real and personal property within the City of Homestead, to be implemented for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2014, and ending September 30th, 2015.
Any questions or comment from council?
I have a question.
Councilwoman Fairclough.
Although this may be highly unusual, I'm just curious. What happens if we so happen to come under budget with these projects? What happens to the money?
Under budget.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You want, who wants to take that? Carlos, you want to take that? Or?
We don't anticipate that, but it can be used, basically what the resolution is saying is that it can be used for public facilities. I mean, for the police public facility or for Seminole Theater. So as long as it's used towards those projects, then yes. So in other words, if the initial cost of the initial project did come in under, we could expend those funds on, say, some additional projects related to that Seminole Theater or the police project.
Could you prepay, Carlos? Could you give back the money?
We could also, there is in the resolution that would allow us to do a prepayment as well, yes.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not naive to the fact that those...
I thought you were going to ask the opposite. What happens if we don't have enough money?
Yeah, no. I know if they know we have a certain amount of money for the projects, they're going to bid it up to that price. Right. But I was just curious as to what happens to the money.
Any other comments or questions? I'll open the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion? Move by Councilman Burgess and second by Councilman Maldonado. Any additional comments or questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 16.
Authorization of issuance of general obligation bonds not to exceed $26 million. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, authorizing issuance of not to exceed $26 million in aggregate principal amount of City of Homestead, Florida, general obligation bonds, Series 2014, to pay the costs of the project described herein and cost of issuance, providing that such general obligation bonds shall constitute a general obligations of the city, and that the full faith and credit and taxing power of the city shall be irrevocably pledged for payment of the principal and interest on such general obligation bonds, making certain covenants and agreements in connection therewith, providing for certain details of the bonds, delegating certain matters in connection with the issuance of the bonds to the mayor, city manager, authorizing the negotiated sale of the bonds to the original purchaser, appointing a paying agent and a bond registrar, approving the form and execution of a bond purchase agreement, providing for preliminary official statement, and authorizing the execution of an official statement, authorizing obtaining a bond insurance policy and any necessary covenants with respect thereto, covenanting to provide continuing disclosure in connection with the bonds in accordance with Securities and Exchange Commission Rule 15C-212, authorizing a book entry registration system for the bonds, authorizing certain officials and employees of the city to take all actions required in connection with the issuance of the bonds, providing for adoption and representations, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Staff report.
Staff recommends Mayor and Council adopt the resolution.
Any comments or questions from council? Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments or questions for the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion? Moved by Councilman Waldman. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Burgess. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woolman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess? Councilman Maldonado? Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 17.
The resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, accepting a grant award from the Department of Justice for law enforcement initiatives to reduce crime, approving the grant agreement, authorizing the city manager to execute the grant agreement, establishing a budget in the amount of $72,607 for the expenditure of grant funds, providing for an effective date.
Any comments or questions from the council? Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the public? I'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion from the council? Moved by Councilman Burgess.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Waldman. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Woolman?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess? Councilman Maldonado? Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairclough?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Shelley?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Business from the city manager.
Well, let's see. Chief, did you just want to talk about the little problem we had at the park today? Just a brief, just so everybody knows.
You mean the one at the Roscoe Warren Park? Well, this afternoon, probably around 5 o'clock, 5:30, we got a call that they found a young, person hung behind the facility. I don't think it was on the city property. I think it was the fence behind there. I ain't got all the details yet, but we couldn't determine, I guess, the person's name because it was been there for a while. But right now we're in the process of gathering information and trying to find out exactly what happened. But they think it may be suicide or something of that nature. We're not sure though.
And then Barbara, did you want to just talk a little bit about our raccoon problem the other night?
Certainly, Mr. Manager. We had an animal that got into one of our substations last night and was electrocuted and caused a short circuit in the substation. The substation feeds a significant part of the central area in the city. We did have numerous employees come in to take care of the situation and get the power restored for everyone, and it was around 11 o'clock last night. One of the concerns was that the city manager was still at work, so.
Did anybody ask you what you did with the raccoon afterwards?
No one has asked. I had not even asked, so I don't have that information. If you need it, I can get that.
No, thanks.
That's all. All right. Thank you. City Attorney. Reports from Mayor and Council. Councilman Burgess.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. A week from tomorrow, July 31st, the governor is coming down to the city of Homestead. He's going to be visiting one of our light industrial businesses on the west side of town, Kimry Incorporated. He's going to be there showing great things that they do, as they are an exporter of their product all over the world that they have. They're big exporters to China and India. So he's coming down to take part of showing off an industry that we have here in town. He's also going to give me some time to reach out to him with some of our requests, which the manager and myself are working on. If anybody has any ideas of what we should ask for, please feel free to forward your ideas to George, and George will bring them on to me, and we'll compile a list, and I will get on the list for as much time as I have. I know we have a couple goals for that morning already to help with the downtown redevelopment. We're hoping that we get some time with him to take him down there and show him the vision that this council has put together for the city as we try to revitalize it down there, and sell him on the ideas of what we're trying to do, and hopefully we can get some funding somehow from the state level to help us with our vision. So if anybody has any ideas for that, please forward them to George, and I will take them with me on that day as we go along, and hopefully everything will be smooth, and that we'll get our time and that we've requested, and be able to give our ideas and our requests to him. I want to thank Julio for his hard and diligent work as we stay on the traffic division of the county. I forgot, I should have asked the commissioner for a little help there, but she was rattling things off so quick. But we are still working and hopeful that the Pacific Boulevard light will be being installed very quickly, and some other things are being loose ends are being wrapped up, which will also help traffic. So, Julio, thank you to you and your persistence at the county level. And with that, thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Burgess. Councilman Maldonado. Nothing. Thank you. Councilman Williams.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. I have a few things. First, I want to announce that myself and the Southwest Advisory Board Committee would like to extend to our residents for our annual backpack giveaway Tuesday, August the 12th, 2014, which will take place tentatively at this moment at Bleakley Park, located at 600 Southwest 14th Avenue, Homestead, Florida, from 6 p.m. to 10. Please come out and join us at our annual backpack giveaway. This is for the benefit of children in our community who are most needy of school supplies and other necessary learning materials to succeed in their upcoming year. So our goal is to work together in the community to help those with the greatest needs. We want to inspire them, motivate them, give them the self-esteem and a desire to grow and flourish for this upcoming school year. Also, I have passed out to my colleagues a problem that I have seen to manifest in our community. These gas-powered motorized bicycles. I see them as unsafe. They're all in the community in which I live. They're all over the street. And I like to, at some point in time, have the attorneys look at perhaps an ordinance or something that we can have to enforce, because it is just really getting out of hand, especially in the Southwest area. I mean, it is just, it's ridiculous. So what I like to do, if the council will empower the city attorney to provide some type of legislation that we can either prohibit it or come up with some kind of enforcement or something to that effect. So I had one of my interns do some preliminary research for you all, so that you all become familiar with it. They are unsafe and they can be very dangerous if not operated correctly. Thank you. Also, I need to address, there are a lot of potholes within in my community. And Mr. Manager, at some point in time, I'd like to get with you so we can ride around and I can point them out to you, because it's just, it's really bad. And we have an ordinance that's in place that in some parts of the community doesn't work quite well with what's already been established or in place. And I think we need to revisit that ordinance. I think it was passed back in 2009. It's dealing with the abutting properties, the swell areas, and for business owners or homeowners to take care of some of that. But I don't think it was given to them in a good condition to begin with. So now we want them to take care of something that should have been given to them in the proper manner. So hopefully we can schedule something this week. The other issue is I'd just like to have an update on the demolition of some of the buildings within the Southwest area to see where we are in demolishing some of those buildings that we need to demolish. With the aesthetics of the community, it's just deplorable. So I know we've been working at this for quite some time, so I just need kind of like a timeline.
Yes, Councilman, if you remember, the council allocated funding for demolition in the CRA area, which we know is the entire Southwest. It's inside of the Southwest area. So we have gone out to bid on a demolition contract that allows us to do this in a kind of like how we do our street paving. So depending on the size of the house, we're looking to get one price where we can go and tell a contractor, this is the size of the house, and we'll know how much it costs. The money has been encumbered. The bid is out currently right now. I do not have the date of when the bids are going to be open, but I will have it for you tomorrow. I'll email the entire council so you can know when that's going to happen. And once we have selected the contractor, any of the houses that are in the queue, we can start the process.
Okay. And also, I know in the process with these overgrown lots, and I know it's rainy season, so, but I know quite a bit, many more are getting high, and so hopefully we want to continue to support our code compliance and make sure that persons are being cited. The other issue that I have also is within the Southwest area. I'm noticing a lot of gatherings around convenience stores, open bottle containers, those kind of things. I think I touched base with Captain Ken. I made a phone call. And so, Chief, if we can, lack of a better term, beef up some of the areas within there's one off of Lucius Street and I think 7th. There's a convenience store to hang out right in the back under the shade tree. And so sometimes we have large gatherings like that, it causes for other things to happen. And so, especially when drinking is going on. So if we can look at that within the area and perhaps have a zero tolerance, because it's just really getting kind of outrageous as I'm in the community. I think that's all of my concern. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Councilman Williams. Councilwoman Fairclough.
Yes, thank you, Vice Mayor. We have a lot of large-scale projects coming down the pipeline as a result of the general obligation bond passage, and I remain committed to ensuring that our locals get their fair share of the pie. So my question is to Mr. Amarato and George Gresses, if you can look into the first source ordinance that has been passed by Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Miami-Dade County, City of Miami Gardens, City of South Miami, and this first source ordinance ensures that our locals have a first source to the hiring process, and I think this will be great for our community that passed the general obligation bonds, and it shows that this council is committed to making sure that they have a seat at the table when it comes to hiring. So if we can provide some more information to council, perhaps at our next meeting regarding the first source ordinance.
Sure. Thank you.
Also, the new school year starts August 18th, and it's very encouraging that several organizations, nonprofits, my colleagues are hosting backpack distributions and drives to help our students get back to school. And what I'm doing is, because I understand that we can receive a backpack on every block, which is a great thing. When it comes to uniforms and shoes, our parents are still struggling. So I'm excited to have partnered with a corporate partner who's going to assist me to ensure that our students are putting their best foot forward for the new school year. We're going to be providing a new pair of shoes so that our students can walk back into the new school year on the right foot. So I will be sharing information about that and how parents can reach out to us to ensure that their children are putting their best foot forward for the new school year. Also, I have a question for City Manager and Chief Rowe. Have we considered placing surveillance cameras at our parks as a sign of safety and security for our residents? And if any criminal activity is taking place at these parks, we have a tool to capture that criminal activity. I thought of that when you mentioned the individual behind Roscoe Warren Park.
That's a great idea, Councilwoman Fairclough. Yeah, we considered it, and as I said here, I think we've done that quite a bit. We have cameras that we move around the city. As a matter of fact, we talked about something last week where the camera that we're using to deal with the tags, I believe those cameras can be also moved and put in location to help out with any kind of crime within any area in the city of Homestead. So that's something that we can do, and we will do it, and hopefully, it'll stop some of the problems. Also, what we're doing as well, we got community policing also going around the community and dealing with problem area within each community. When I mean each community, I'm talking about northwest, southwest, southeast, and northeast. So that was a good idea, and we'll definitely make sure we take care of that problem for you.
Very good. And just finally, just reflecting, I understand that the bowling alley RFP is gone, and good for them that they found a location to place their bowling alley. And I'm excited that we're able to move forward without looking back. But we still need to have a conversation about the bowling alley, and I'm in favor of, and I know Councilman Burgess had suggested this before, to take off the restriction because we're limiting ourselves, and hindsight is 2020, and I realize that. So I would be willing to have a conversation with my colleagues about how we're going to move forward and ensure that we are not giving anything away, and we're not leaving anything on the table, and opening up that RFP to see what's out there and who's willing to bring another alternative to the table. So I know that's gone, but the conversation still has to continue, but more than the conversation, a plan of action on how we're going to move full steam ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Waldman.
This was the first that I had heard about this death in the parks. I realized you didn't have time, our Parks and Recs, we didn't have time to communicate when this happened, but did it happen, was it inside this, sorry, I'm having trouble with my light. Was it inside the park, or was it outside the park?
It was outside the park, along the canal bank, out back. It wasn't inside the city park.
Okay, well, I think this is serious, because that obviously tells me that it probably happened this afternoon, or do we know that?
It wasn't this afternoon. It happened a while back.
Oh, okay.
Well, I said within maybe 5 days or maybe more.
Okay, then I would like to have a meeting as Parks and Recs chair with our Parks and Recs department and you and the police chief, and I agree that cameras are probably something that we need to discuss, but that's something we also need a budget for, and it's very expensive because the parks are large. So I just don't know. I mean, we may have to bring in some experts to help us with telling us where the most strategic places to put cameras. It saddens me very, very much to hear that kind of news. So I thank you for your suggestion, and I think it's a conversation we really need to have So Pedro and Mr. Manager.
Sure, I just want to, by the way, I mentioned it not to give the impression that there's some bad problem in the parks, particularly if it's a suicide. It could happen anywhere, so just keep that in mind. I don't know that it's necessarily a commentary on the safety of the cameras is a different issue, but...
Well, we all know you hate cameras. But, I know. But unfortunately, in today's society, not all parents are as watchful of their children as other parents. I mean, I saw it happen yesterday with my dog, because I am a parent of my dog, and she did something that scared the daylights out of me. So, but I just think that, God forbid, we haven't had anything drastic that I know of in our parks before, but it could happen, and then when it happens, so it's just a conversation. Just a conversation. All right, Mr. Manager? Just a conversation. So, let me go on. The other day when it rained on Monday, I couldn't get out to see the rest of Homestead because I was flooded in the villages of Homestead. The water at one point was hip deep on a man about 5'11". There were cars on the sides of the roads where their engines, I don't know if they lost their engines because of being in the water, but those drains were done, I think, in 2005, 2006. Julio, I don't know if you recall, but I think we need to take a look at them. Maybe they just need to be unclogged or whatever, but it was awful.
We'll take a look at it.
And I have some other things here. I want to congratulate Barbara because we just had our conference with the FMEA, and she's our outgoing president. And listen, I told somebody at the table, I said, if ever we need a master of ceremonies or a mistress of ceremonies, you're the one. She's quite the comedian as well. You could use that raccoon joke. But anyway, congratulations, and she really represented our city so well. She has so much respect from all the people, and Councilman Maldonado was there, and Councilman Burgess, and I mean, it's just, you can just tell you just have so much respect from all the different cities and all the different people. So I wanted to just recognize you so that you know that we appreciate you very, very much. Okay, it's already been said, but I gotta say it again. We got a baby in the house, Mr. Jackson, and I just can't wait to get my hands on him. And I mean, he's so excited. Beautiful. I haven't seen him, but I've seen pictures. Beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank
and we
you very
need some
much.
happiness. We need some happiness after the stress we've all been through the last few weeks. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And many of our council members are doing school drives, backpack drives, and I've been asked so many times. So I decided, I don't know what all this. I decided, hey, let's just ask for supplies, and then we can always, use them together. So that's what I'm doing. If you want to donate backpacks or school supplies, you can drop them off at our city hall or at the Villages and Homestead Clubhouse. And we welcome, because so many children need things. And as our Councilwoman Fairclough said earlier, even shoes. I mean, it's so sad, And I've seen the list, and it cost, I think we did a backpack today, and it cost upward to about $50, $60 to buy the supplies that the teachers are asking for. And is that about right, Ms. Fairclough? So just think about it. If you have a family and then you've got to worry about these uniforms and shoes and everything else. So if you would like to drop by, and there's a list here, crayons, pencils, paper, whatever, we'll make sure they get to nonprofits, and our own council Mr. Williams, we'll make sure that whatever we have, we'll distribute them to the right organizations. So that's what this is, and please, I'm asking staff too, please donate a box of pencils, whatever, so we need them. All of us need them. Excuse me. Judy's closet. I haven't talked about it in a really long time. It's a closet that I started several years ago now. I started it, and Maria Garza was so sweet to let me house the clothes there at the skill center, but we outgrew that skill center, and now we have everything at the FOP Lodge. SOS, our ladies from SOS have already left, but just today, we helped 9 families, just today. And these were families of domestic abuse, so there's no questions asked. You know, we try to provide, and we need clothes, and don't bring me clothes that are stained, or, you know, we need to make people feel better. So if you just want to clean your closet like this Judy should do, or just get rid of a few things that maybe you haven't worn in a while, we'll be happy to take them. You can contact our assistant Heather, or you can contact me, or contact the SOS ladies. They have graciously volunteered to help. So it's just a lot of work, but we do a lot of good. So 9 families just today, I just couldn't believe it. And what else have we done? Michael Williams, Mr. Williams, we have Parks and Rec, they've landscaped, and to go take a look. If you
I have already.
And I hope you like it.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you,
Very
Parks and Rec.
nice.
And with that being said, I think I've covered just about everything, except to say that I see several members of Rotary here, and I want to personally thank Larry Deal and Dale, I guess he's gone now, but for providing the debate. I believe it's, I don't have a flyer or anything, I'm going by memory, but I think it's Monday night. There's a debate between our, you know, our representatives who are running for District 8, and it's going to be held right here in this room. So I don't know the time, but Larry, do you know the time? 7 p.m. right here. So thank you very much for doing that, and I encourage everybody to come out. So with that being said, I'm done. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Williams had one more item he needed to bring up. He forgot.
Yeah, I have about 7 more.
I forgot, excuse me, I forgot to thank him, Vice Mayor, you're Rotary too. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I just have an administrative question. When does the new elected pension board meet? How often do they meet? I've been appointed to that board, but I hadn't.
Councilman, they should be sending out the invites to put on your calendar. I'll make a point of it.
How often do they meet?
They meet every 2 months.
So when was
Usually
the
it's the
last
same,
meeting?
because the same professionals that are on the firefighters, and rather the police, the newly elected and the old, they're all done on the same day.
Okay.
I believe it's upcoming. I'll make a point that they send you the invitation.
Right, but when was the last one?
Approximately 2 months ago. The other one should be coming up, I believe, at the beginning of August.
I've missed quite a bit of meetings then.
You're tardy for the party.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you all have minutes or records? How do you all?
Yes, sir. Our pension administrator, Benefits USA, they can make those available to you.
Would you, through the city manager, please catch me up, because I've had some questions and concerns, and so I'd like to be brought up to speed as soon as possible.
Certainly.
With whatever minutes or documents that they are. And then the others for procurement. Some time ago, maybe about 2 years ago, I asked procurement, or Jerry at the time, to give me some statistical data on minority vendors and businesses within the city of Homestead, and I'm just kind of waiting to see where we are on that with minority businesses that are vendors with the city, and the breakout of ethnicity and all of that kind of stuff.
The data was collected, Councilman Williams. The report was inconclusive at the time, and it continues to be inconclusive due to the lack of responses from our vendors. We have had communications about what other ways of capturing the data would provide us some different outcomes and what we can do to encourage some of the minorities vendors to participate with the city and to do more work with the city. Aside from the outreach that we've done, we've had many conversations and many meetings about what more we could do, and there's a few projects that we have in the plans. We don't have anything conclusive that we can provide you at this moment, but there has been a lot of work being done behind the scenes.
Okay. So the Vice Mayor, since procurement is one of the areas of liaison, I'd like to request publicly to have a meeting so you can show me whatever you have, whatever.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
I think and procurement is awesome in what they do, and I know it's an August task. But I was kind of counting on something back from you all, and it's been a couple of years now. And,
No, I understand.
and so try to, keep me in the loop of
course.
something, because what I'm trying to do is propose some legislation to put within the framework of an ordinance or so to help kind of facilitate minority businesses, especially city vendors within the city of Homestead. And in order for me to do that, I'd like to sit down with you all to see who we have participating in the process.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilman Williams. I just have one quick item. I know that many people have already stated it, but I just want to publicly announce I am now the proud father of my first child, a healthy, happy baby boy that was born. That was born about a week or so ago, and he's 7 pounds, 7 ounces. So the mother and baby are doing great. I also want to take the opportunity to recognize my father, who's here tonight. He came down to watch the birth of his first grandson. And I just want to thank him for instilling the values in me and for being such a great role model for me. And if I could be half the father that you have been to me, to my son, my son will be doing fantastic. So I want to thank him publicly for all he's done for me. And that's all I have. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved, seconded, all in favor? Aye.